Всем добрый вечер. Меня зовут Диана, это мой канал. И видите, у меня тут нимб из жемчуга. И сегодня у нас будет диск Elysium. Я не помню, думаю, где мы, в каком подвале. Почему такая графика не очень? Кстати, может, там как-то лучше можно сделать. Отличное качество. Полный экран, высокое. Все высокое сглаживание. Да вроде все нормально. Значит, пока люблю эту легкую атмосферу секретности в начале стрима, а никого нет, и я говорю о том, что, во-первых, кто-то под подъездом все время ездит. Ну, надеюсь, этого не слышно, но там свежий воздух, его приятно нюхать, я люблю такое. И, собственно говоря, ну, если будет шумно, я закрою окошко. Опять же, диск Elysium проходим, когда идет какая-то морось, грязь на улице, плохое настроение. Я вот ударилась коленкой, вчера очень сильно спешила навстречу и ударилась коленкой в лавку. И что-то это было так внезапно, что она до сих пор не проходит. Коты прыгают, я слышу очень-очень громко. Из таких же еще вещей, говорю, таких же еще вещей, у меня подставка под камеру, под штатив. Штатив, я куда-то его задевала, я хотела переставить камеру. Потому что мне не нравится, как я выгляжу в этой. Типа, я как будто маленький карлик под столом сидящий, и такая типа: «Эй, всем привет!» Ну, на фазмофобии так точно было. Но я, конечно, там пригибалась и пряталась от всего, как будто бы в реале. Но, блин, надо найти будет штатив, этот мой маленький, поставить его снизу, чтобы он меня прямо как будто я не где-то там, а типа вот я. И говорю в камеру. Такие вот дела. Да, вот я сейчас наконец-то прям в нее смотрю. Но не будем отвлекаться от диска Элизиума. Я все еще думаю, что конец близок. И я так думаю уже очень много стримов. Ну а теперь я по-настоящему на самом деле уверена. У меня как-то голос еще хрипит. Типа вообще на самом деле все классно. Это я просто говорю то, что приходит в голову сейчас. Видите, я совсем не фашист, немножко ультралиберал. И суперзвезда, и жалкий, и коп-зануда. Давайте посмотрим задание. Поспрашивайте Руби в деревне, поспрашивайте, определите, откуда был сделан выстрел. Угу. Найдите Фазмида. Положили. Так, пойдемте в танцы и сообщим об этом Лене. Давайте с этого начнем. Ну, например. Еще что-то было про... Можно, пожалуйста, не вырубаться? Спасибо. Еще что-то было... про вот это найти место с выстрелом, какая такая тема. Я вот не помню, я здесь что-то проверила или не проверила. Вдруг я прибежала сюда не зря. Давайте посмотрим.
An old monument stands in the middle of the traffic island. It is a matrix of metal tubes. There are no lights that spell out your name. No workers with calloused hands leering. The old king. Look, a silver... Not a good track record of mental...
Ой, что-то какое-то не очень значительное. Так, давайте вспоминать. Нет, правую кнопку мыши зажимаем, чтобы что-то понять. Идем к Лене. О, как хорошо-то здесь. Она спит. Подождите, кто такая Лена? С фазмидами.
Can I help you?
Мы не будем платить за простой. Так. Что ты хочешь? О, вот там надо бы поворовать. У меня где-то был пакет для мусора. А мы возьмем его себе. попробуем тогда. Бросьте конверт в почтовый ящик на площади. Дурак от роду так. Мурал. Что такое мурал? Остров Пирс. Так, почтовый ящик.
The dented yellow mailbox greets you with its graffiti. Other than developing a personal relationship, looks like you were right. You drop the white envelope in the darkness. It lands with about a week's worth of mail as collected for good or ill. The deed is done.
Пардос. Ой, сказать Еврару. Ну, пойдемте Еврару скажем. К нему через контейнеры надо лезть. Тут никого нет.
A lorry stuck. If the windows are clear, fumes of heavy fuel.
Неужели все спят? Ну, походу, нам тоже придется идти спать. Дурак. Я вспомнила, кто такой дурак. Он на пляже сидит. Точно. Почему не можем все обворовать? Непонятно.
Hello, hello. Let me know if this is. I certainly
Пошли, ну
would
как
owning shares.
друг
That's where the
друг
proper
друга,
trade
господи,
is.
что?
Far beyond the.
He seems down on himself. Offer a bit of positivity, and you might put him in a more benevolent mood.
Something like that.
That didn't work. The bric-a-brac man looks at you from behind 2 layers of. If there is any struggle in him, he hides it well, just like he does the scarred walls of his.
Nothing's wrong with it. The shop suits me fine. It's just no can do. I need to make money. This is a business first and foremost. No offense, but I don't think it would do me much good.
He's right. His customers are desperates, lowlifes, and bored browsers.
I'd be glad to trade for your shares. Let's stick to that. In theory, yes. You probably have enough to afford it all. What I can do is trade that modified streetlight over there for some of your shares. It's the...
Expensive isn't everything. And we know that light isn't even a recognizable brand. You can't exactly strut down the street and turn heads with it. Sure it does. Not saying you should definitely not get. Imagine swinging it at a ball. The distance you'd get. It's been through a whole transformation. There are so many insights to share. It's up to you. If you think it's got ROI potential, then go ahead. Just bear in mind that these shares are developing into a fortune without you having to do.
Nothing else in here carries that much value, I'm afraid. Plus, I need to make sure I still earn some actual cash. Right. have another look at it. Really take in that quality craftsmanship. Any other questions in the mean?
A typical Martinez streetlight sits among assorted floor and table lamps.
Угу. Так, ну чё, F5. Тут нет F5. Есть F5.
A typical Martinez street.
More than happy. Like I said,
As little as possible. We only sell shares if we're getting something. A 20th of your shares is something lifted in him when he saw those shares. He needs as many as possible, even if he won't admit it.
That's a reasonable offer. All right, you have a deal. The street light is all yours. Pleasure doing business with you. Yeah, good. But I won't be. Let's just say there's some long overdue business I've got. Oh, sure. It is quite heavy. You're going to. That's all right. I can keep it here for you until you find one. Tell you what.
Did he just do a runner? Don't panic. I'm sure he's just doing his shoelaces up. Something.
Here we go. It's a sign that declares you the owner of the streetlight.
Great idea. One of your physical assets on display for the public. Maybe this was a good idea, but let's come back to that idea later. There's easier money to be made elsewhere. Just get that sign.
There you go. Beautiful job.
Диск оп.
It reads, sold to the Disco Cop for shares in MK Mercury Group. Looks surprisingly official for a small-time trader. Some of your big biz flair must be rubbing off on him. The pole has been carefully cut, the wiring redone and attached. She's going to love it. Silence. Your eyes slide back to the 700 real modified streetlight you traded for shares. The golden light.
Oh, right.
Your eyes slide back to the 700 real modified streetlight you traded for shares. The golden light seems to flicker.
One quick question. How do I get hold of my shares? All right.
Блин, это очень забавно.
It's the 700 real.
Мой фонарик. Зачем я приобрела себе фонарь? Я же не собиралась. И пирс. Возможно, придется вообще как-то типа погуглить. Потому что... Энгетмен? Что это? Что это? Откуда это он появился? Так, давайте все-таки задание еще раз повторим. Пирс, остров. Окей, а мы? В прошлый раз я, кажется, пыталась. И фиг бы чё. В глаз что-то попало.
All the traps are stopped now, and still no sight.
Так, я думаю, стоит посмотреть. Определите, откуда был сделан выстрел. Я не поняла. Короче, надо Руби на берегу найти, видимо. Типа вот такой порядок будет в игре. Чтобы найти Руби, нам надо лечь. Это кто? Ой, надо мусорный пакет из руки убрать. Ага.
Aye, the sea's gonna calm down soon. I can feel it. The wind is turning southeast. What's on your mind, officer?
Так, ладно, это не Руби. Кто Руби?
You're back? Good.
Я почему думаю, что это Руби?
Our tenant, the policeman. What more do you want to know about that poor girl? Yes,
Так,
let's see.
вообще Руби, походу, нету. Мурал. Чё такое мурал? Вы спрашиваете о Руби в деревне. Что такое мурал? Ой, мурал, блин. Мурал. Огромный мурал. Да вы издеваетесь. Надо, наверное, спать.
It's getting late, and the bed is comforting. If the place feels almost like home now. Quite.
Хоть кто-то выспится.
Easier this time. Drifting off, your head has found a comfortable indent in the pillow.
Я вообще в 4 легла.
This respite. You've earned it, brother. But no, this is the one before that.
Enjoy it while it lasts.
You're welcome, Harry boy.
After centuries of darkness, the alarm rings. But what's this? You actually feel...
Обалдеть. Нам все помогли. Почему я спал на стуле-то, господи?
Yes? Okay, let's talk about it. You stole the boats. Congratulations. that must have taken an enormous concerted effort, considerable ingenuity and timing. Now, sure. Anyway,
I don't care about your insane theft, the lieutenant thinks, and looks away from the boots. Just know, if anyone asks me, date of birth generator. You were born in the year 07, in the last year of the commune of Revachol, right before it fell, in the old military hospital on the ground floor, where people usually came to die during a snowstorm. The revolution had about 1 year left to go, and the fires were still burning bright. There were explosions in the blizzard. This was 44 years ago. You are...
Ну, давайте мысли разблокировать. Хотя сколько у меня очков. Блин, физиологию надо бы качнуть.
Our tenant, the policeman.
Где Мурау? Где-то там, наверное. Что здесь мужики где-то были? Ладно, не будем позориться с мусорным мешком. А где мужики? Ага. Это я, получается, часть задания сделала, да? Давайте посмотрим. Нифига.
The once bright mural towers above you, saying, Fell Electrical, R&D. Tomorrow is just a whisper away. Suddenly, all is quiet. There is no cold hand brushing against your... The ruin in front of you is silent as a tomb.
how do we? She's probably north of the village, and this place is a peninsula. We already scanned most of the outdoor areas on our... And then there's the church. We've already searched that and can rule it out. I know it doesn't feel... Anyway, we do it the old-fashioned way, sector by sector. Go over the whole peninsula, ask the locals, enter the places where we can enter first.
Trying to talk to the wind, the city, whatever you thought is trying to talk to the city, something you've done before, a prayer of sorts, to Revachol.
Then, if we're desperate, we can look where we can't enter. Bunkers, storm drainage, this place. I'm sure it won't come to that.
Walk the coast, The old boardwalk, the reeds. You can all... An adventure awaits. An adventure on the windswept urban coast.
Hello. Isn't this a fun? No, I'm afraid I can't help you with this one.
So you haven't seen it?
No, I'm sorry. As I said, this is just...
There's something friendly and familiar in how he says that.
Поиски на побережье, пойдемте. Еще.
An old door.
From here to the whirling? I can't see how. The church...
Очень сложно. Спина чешется, капец, капец, как чешется. И болит. Отсюда могли? Ну, возможно, нам придется идти в танц.
All the traps are stopped.
Давайте пойдем. Мы можем, типа, телепортаться? Ага. Отличный шкафчик. Ну, нужно вернуться. Нам не помогло, да? Ух, сложно. Корабль. А, это вот с той стороны Джойс. Ой, тяжко, конечно, капец, да. И никуда не испортаться. Да что ж вы вообще творите-то, а? Тоже отстой. Давайте к детям подойдем.
The scruffy haired.
What bad people?
I don't think questioning 4-year-olds without their parents present.
Then we're definitely doing it.
Сохранение. А сюда нельзя?
The sea's gonna calm down soon. I can feel it. The wind. Oh. Okay. When did? Oh. I've been out on the sea for most of the past week. The weather's been good for. Yes, that's the optimal time. Got to make the most of the calm. I've been sleeping like a corpse after. Sorry I couldn't help you out. Maybe I can help you find someone else. Really? Are you sure you're not also looking for Nadia Harnancourt? Or a lot of stuff?
О,
Oh, there's plenty missing. But that's too much for even an eager terrier like you to handle. Although you seem very thorough. Tell me, instead, is there something else like...
новая мысль.
You're back?
Ведь мы идем в танцы, но мы не можем туда портнуться. Это ужасно. Это что за домик? С этой стороны нельзя пройти. Давайте вот с этим поговорим.
Everything's still.
Oh, sorry, officer.
Давайте позвоним.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a put.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
Давайте про броню узнаем. Почему у нас это еще? Вроде уже следующий день прошел. В Рару надо сходить. Ну давай.
Just a moment.
10-4, come in, officer. Over. 10-4, sir, glad to hear that. Alors...
Feels good to get that off your chest, right? Celebration with beer.
Roger that, 10-10, over and out.
This is Precinct 57. Does it... Sylvie? Yes. Hello? Oh, great. What else do you need to tell?
You hear
Anything else I can help you with, officer? Yes.
the lieutenant leans in to listen, notebook in hand.
Okay. Benjamin, you ready? That suit of armor was issued to an Oranese citizen named Ellis Cortenaer. That's E-L-L. He was found as a newborn in a leaf compactor near an abandoned farm. He spent 4 months. This is what the ICP knows about him. He was raised by foster parents, entered then the armor followed him to Seminine, or at least I assume it did. And that's it.
Черт, в этой игре дальше забастовки вначале не прошел. Вроде интересно, но почему-то не затянуло хз. Короче, эта игра очень-очень запутанная. И в ней нет телепортов от места к месту. Она крутая, в ней крутая механика. Ну вот, типа как свое собственное ДНД с этим внушением, трепетом. Очень все проработано, просто вау. Но здесь очень много текста, очень много нужно вникать. Это, конечно, круто, но очень легко что-нибудь забыть, какую-нибудь детальку, а ты не можешь еще портнуться. И мне сейчас нельзя было никуда телепортироваться, и я просто такая: сделаю вот это, окей. Главное потом не забыть следующее задание. Я видела, как в эту игруху, ну, типа как проводили ДНД-стримы по ней. Было достаточно забавно. Так она сама по себе не очень стримная. Так.
It's a garden tool used to press leaves into these cubes. It's a detail.
It is. Thank you, Alice.
Non, officer. Sorry.
У меня была вначале вообще мысль в этой игре читать все диалоги. Но это безумие просто. Хорошо, что я от нее отказалась. От этой игры были ощущения по типу братьев-пилотов или Петики. Блин, я понимаю, о чем речь. Кстати говоря, ну, блин, да, тоже такое старье. Только вот это нуарное старье, а то анекдотичное. Хотя тут тоже очень много приколов. Но я к ней изначально как-то неправильно отнеслась. Думала, она более серьезная. И тут прям у меня будет такое, что очень много разветвлений, и мой выбор прям на что-то повлияет. Но походу я просто иду по сюжету. Ну, кроме того, что я могу отвечать как жалкий коп, как коп-зануда, как коп какой-нибудь, кто там, апокалипсиса. Короче, я неправильно о ней себе представление создала.
Even that is a small miracle. These organizations usually double-check.
No problem.
A compliment from Lieutenant Kit.
A name. This is very good. Elise Cortenard.
This means something to him. To know sometimes police work is about
I'm glad the inquiry was helpful to your investigation, officer. 57.
in the cabin. You
Так. Мы что сделали-то? Что мы сделали? Тут еще очень неудобно все на самом деле. Угу. Криптозоолог, одежда в мусоре. Узнали, кто позвонил в участок. Хорош. Давайте посмотрим теперь другие задания. Нуар мы любим, Нуар мы уважаем. Надеюсь, лет через 10 выйдет LA Noir 2 или что-то такое. Блин, я не играла в это. Я имела в виду нуар просто как стиль. Но я не слышала, что за нуар, LA Noir. В голову какая-то мафия сразу пришла, когда на машинках все катаются под мафиозную музыку. А, я понимаю, что как стиль. Хорошо. Сколько у меня там очков? Куда бы что вкачать? Очень много внушения. Ну, может, какую-нибудь проверочку надо будет перепройти, и пока оставлю. Хотя можно еще и в мысль, какую-нибудь мысль развить. Главное не забыть, что мы сейчас в танце должны прийти. Забастовка. Но я очень загрузилась, когда начала играть. Я просто сидела и пыталась сообразить, что куда. Это история Ревашоля, ё-моё.
Hello, dear. Thank you for doing that.
Her smile is weary.
Morel still isn't feeling well. I convinced him to stay at Gary's to get some rest. I'm afraid the cold has really gotten to him. Yes. Field work is... Morel will eventually, or will...
The lieutenant stares at his shoe, caked in mud. He doesn't say
Подсказывает, что снова я.
No, you don't have to do that. Enough of this fool's errand.
Be real. Gary is not going to help with this.
Мы возьмемся взяться с неуместным оптимизмом. Да.
That really is too much, sweetie.
Very strange. Why is she not letting you do this?
Different? How? I'm not. It's a strange feeling.
Это игра от Rockstar про детектива в Лос-Анджелесе. Времен 60-х. Очень классно. Я прям уверен, что ты кайфанешь. Жалко, она по продажам не особо отбилась. Ее не запустили как серию по типу GTA. Это Митя, если что. О, Митя, это ты, привет! Я бы не догадалась. По никам я не догадываюсь вообще. Ну, у тебя и ник не слишком понятный. Что это Митя? Блин, если я не забуду, или напиши, пожалуйста, мне в ВК куда-нибудь. Я, может, посмотрю. Интересно. На самом деле. Как у тебя дела? Так.
And when a police officer asks, you must.
Do you ever wonder if some lovely story from your child? Seeing the insular Indian
Короче, женщина про фадмидов знает, что их нет.
I didn't really think about whether it was real or not. Morel's so proud of it.
A terrible sting in the heart. Regret.
Мы вас арестуем.
No, at least I don't. That I'm some queen of the cryptozoology.
That I am a queen?
But now we're both getting old, and he's still working himself sick out in those reeds looking.
The lieutenant opens his note. He's hiding.
Ой-ой-ой.
These things are tough on him. Matters of love, not violence or deceit.
О, 97 шанс процентов. Для начала скажи ей, что ее брак не фальшивка. Этот ник был придуман в 15 лет. Не знаю, у меня это ассоциируется с папиными дочками. Там был чувак, его звали Веник. Он встречался с готишной девчонкой Дашей. Он был умный и в очках. Но бухой Веник — это, наверное, прикол. Так. Давайте попробуем. Для начала скажи ей, что ее брак не фальшивка. Где это у нас? Ну ладно, давайте скажем.
An acorn is not the same as the tree. That requires time, diligence, and care.
But it is. We've spent years, sir. If I hadn't led him down this path, he could have a steady job lecturing at a university. But if the dream comes to naught, what good is it? I was a paraplegic before we met. He didn't know before I arrived on our first date.
Так.
If I weren't the queen of the cryptozoologists,
Вина, любовь
it's
сложная.
not easy. What you have to know is the insulin
Блин.
plasmid probably
А мы по
does not
грязи
exist.
лазали.
Are there? Some of the other things are pretty bad.
Of course not. I didn't mean to say my situation discredits the field.
Rising. Unfolding from.
Either way, I should go. Poor Morel is running a fever, and I need to get him home to Jamrock before we... Oh no, thank you, but I can get there on my own. This old thing is gas-powered. And then a taxi home. It's not so...
Really?
Oh, sweetie. Please don't...
No one can stop you from finding the family.
Okay, it's...
A sigh. She doesn't think you'll need it.
Вот это хорошо.
You're welcome, sweetie. I'm glad it helped you, even though it turned out to be a
waste of time. A dream. A fool's hope. Like that, she drives off. The gas engine putters quietly as she gets to the doors, then pushes them open. Outside the car.
We should go to...
Somewhere out there, a kilometer to the southeast, a gust of wind.
Так, окей. Опять к зданию Фельд. Телепортаться не получится. Что ж такое-то, а? Что ж такое? Так, мы все еще жалкий коп. Надо прокачать что-то новое. Можно портануться, пожалуйста, каким-то образом? К Эврару надо тоже сходить. Давайте еще с этим мужиком поговорим.
The man ponders his...
Ну, ничего, давайте к Эврару. Здесь надо очень много тупо ходить. Вот это не очень. Эврар вон там наверху сидит в контейнере. Меня сестра спросила: а у тебя в интернете вообще никнейм есть? Я сделал ником первое попавшееся долбанутое сочетание слов. Понимаю. И ты везде этот ник используешь? У меня просто вот в каких-то игровых штуках остался ник Хитрый Дмитрий. Типа в каком-то App Store или что-то типа того. Я таким же принципом руководствовалась. Ну, Хитрый Дмитрий. Окей. Так, как выйти-то? Выйти в контейнер. Все правильно, вот сюда куда-то идем. Да. Где-то кошка закричала. Так, тут сидит чувак. Какой-то космический мужик. Все, господи, дошли. Тут сидит вот этот.
Oh, hey, mister. I'm not gonna bother you.
Ага. Контейнер, контейнер.
Mr. Dubois, I hear the meeting with Titus was a glowing success. Now, what can Everett Clare do for you today? Ah, yes, I was informed. It seems to be a big undertaking. What are you hoping to achieve with it exactly?
Oh.
A vanity project? Or is this your way of inciting
We are. And we will do our best to ensure that...
Indeed. I'm glad to see you making headway with your endeavors, Mr. Dubois. Ah,
Так,
yes,
давайте
I was
попробуем.
interesting. This is a small... I'm glad to see you making... The Golden Boy returns once more. Wonderful. My friend, the mailman, confirms the letter is on its way. You've done a great thing today. You've given the children... You're in my inner circle. You too, Mr. Kitsuragi. We can talk about anything.
Hear that?
Oh.
You did it the honest way. Finally. Answers. Ask away, son.
Давайте пистолет.
Harry, I've got to be honest with you. Your gun was found 2 days ago. Withholding this information weighed heavily on me. But it your gun is with an old woman. I hear she's a character, so what...
This must be the woman who bought the gun from Roy.
Блин.
The one he described as terrifying.
Где эта
The
женщина?
same one. I see you've done your research. The pawn shop made the gun easy to...
Union Boy's gonna help you fix it.
The neighbors of this old woman contacted my men because they trust me and the Debardairs Union. Apparently, she was waving it around at the entrance to her building.
А кто это?
Unfortunately, I don't know anymore. You're gonna have to go in blind, Harry. But she's a...
There it is again. The pig.
I, for one, find it refreshing. Finally, someone calls themselves a pig.
Есть стих. Хитрый Митрий, говорят в народе, но иные качества в его природе. Сердцем добр, в делах прилежен, ласков с близкими, душою нежен. Блин, в смысле есть стих? Это ты сейчас придумал или это похоже на гороскопы, короче? Ну типа на стихах, на стихи, на кружках, на каких-то ложках. Такая тема. Непонятно.
It actually sounds extremely bad, but let's not give him this.
As I said, she's a character. I didn't have time for details. It sounds like she's unstable, but don't. I already have.
Так.
Tonight, starting 10 o'clock.
После старого рыбного рынка.
The one on the boardwalk, a little past the fishing village.
She will be there from 2200 hours.
More fun stuff. Seems like we already have fun stuff to do.
Harry, by now you should know I would never do anything tricky like that. Well, let's just say there'll be freshly renovated buildings near the roundabout where those poor people...
So the village is doomed.
You were there, you saw the place.
Они там в этой деревне, да, как бомжи живут.
But mark my words, officers. We are going to reset it. Reset. I have big plans for Martinez, and they do not include human. Harry, imagine a youth center supermarket church complex. Employing hundreds. No, Harry, enough is enough. We're taking this district back. The war was 50 years ago, for God's sake. It's time to move on.
Молодежно-торговый церковный комплекс.
Yes, I do. I got the center. I got room for a retail.
Да-да, у меня на кружке это было написано. О! Подожди, а ты все-таки Дмитрий? Блин, ты Дмитрий! Господи! Открытие. Блин, вот это открытие. Я не думала об этом. Я не думала. Оказывается, Митя — это Дмитрий. Ну просто не все Дмитрии называют себя Митями. И... Ну и как бы... Фиг знает, есть ли просто имя Митя в паспорте, или все Мити Дмитрии. Это вопрос. Прикол, прикол. На кружке было написано. Нормально. Блин, вот у меня не было никаких всратых кружек с надписями. Потому что с именем Дианы было мало всего. Вообще ничего не было. Там даже песен мало было. Ну, короче... Я, в принципе, не в обиде. Ну так. Вот этих не было всяких ложечек, каких-то браслетов. Ну, это все, конечно, такое. Не очень-то и надо. Ой, дети на улице играют собственными испражнениями. Ура!
There is true indignation in his voice. The pain is true. He's seen kids do work, and then there will be a giant statue of him towering above it all.
I'm not a symbolist, Harry. I'm a realist. My statue will be Martinez rebuilt. 5-story build.
You would look nice as a statue.
Damn right I'm up to something, Harry. I'm gonna make the working man as rich as Joyce Messier. That's my... Order it. You know my men didn't kill him. They told you. It was a happy accident. You know how it is. No one takes the initiative. If I wanted him dead,
почему вы такой толстый? Мне кажется, хороший вопрос.
I've got type 2 diabetes because sugar and fat. Good job too, as it made me ugly. And ugly people, Harry,
И к лучшему, потому что я стал уродливым, а уродливые люди, Гарри, гораздо более искусны в политике. Блин, не знаю. Это правда, люди не доверяют красавцам. Так. Вообще, это разные имена. Дмитрий — это для серьезных бизнес-дел, а Митя — это мое тусовочное, на лай-лай, расслабленное. Диана из-за принцессы очень аристократичное имя, будто бы. О, да, есть такое. Короче, по поводу... Блин, мне просто... Я не помню... И в школе был одноклассник Митя, и он тоже был Дима. Больше я Мить, по-моему, особо не видела. И Дим. Не, видела. Видела Дим. Диана... Так, ну да, типа, самая известная Диана — это принцесса Диана с трагической судьбой. И еще вот эти вот в гороскопах, когда ты смотришь, типа, символ имени, там, Мария, там, Дарья, Диана. Я читала все эти темы, там, Диана, богиня Луны, во имя лунная призма, дай мне силы. И что-то там такое. Ну, блин, это прикольная тема. Но на ложках не писали, к сожалению. Вот такое. Потому что не по-русски. Не русское имя. По-моему, французское все-таки. Хотя хер его знает. Так, люди не доверяют красавцам. В чем выгодна его смерть?
And what do you have to gain?
Victory, Mr. Kitsuragi. I have victory to gain. We are going to start a war with the Wild Harry. We outnumber them 1,500 to 1. And that's just Martinez. With all the unions in Revachol, the more they send, the worse it's going to look for them. They made a huge mistake hiring those guys. No one likes foreign mercenaries. The left Harry, there is no strike, only war. Class war. Or, in business terms, a dawn raid. Or, we're not going to give nothing. We're going to take Terminal B away from them.
The word fuck rings like a gunshot from...
So that's why you haven't let...
Yes. It's also why I let that midget Gaumont go. He's too nice. I can't put him through this. Plus, he knows how to get in here. That woman can't tell her tits from her asshole. She has no chance. Because we're friends, Harry.
Мы друзья.
Besides, it doesn't matter now. You can get... It's already happening. No idea. Could have been his own mother for all I know. If you ever find the guy, give him a big fat kiss from
дерзкий чувак.
The guy, huh?
I don't. I told you it could have been his own mother. I'm pretty sure it wasn't anyone from the Union. Maybe 2,372. Plus yours truly, of course.
Ты зачем кинула в меня мышку? Вот что она сделала с этой животиной. Просто все. Патыка, ты можешь обратно ее забрать? Так, у меня есть книги. И тайна имени, и гороскопы для продвинутых по магии и так далее. Остались от моей мамы с девичьих времен. Все прочитал. Блин, мне кажется, это было модно. Я тоже любила вот эту тему. Я до сих пор могу даже на каких-нибудь... Меня кинули мышью. Спасибо. Просто с плеча. Патока. Я не знаю, было видно или нет, прям мышью прилетела. Спасибо. Короче, пойду проветрусь, погуляю. Приятной игры. Спасибо. Приятной прогулки. Патока, пожалуйста, держи мышь. Я тут еще порассуждаю на эту тему. Про гороскопы это классно. И про вот эти тайны имени. Мы, короче, верили в это во все как-то в детстве. Ты опять кинула мышь или мне показалось? Типа, как будто это на что-то влияет. Если есть вообще, как сказать, какие-то правила, то все начинают в них играть и, типа, соблюдать. Типа, ты такой, потому что ты там Евгений, а ты такой, потому что ты Олег. Ну, так с гороскопами чаще, на самом деле, чем с именами. Хоть я задница. Кошка тоже поиграться хочет, да? Она просто кидает в меня мышью. Тусит нормально.
2373 is a sizable, and they're all well motivated. At least the ones you've seen.
Oh, you mean what sort of goods are going to be flowing
Короче, мне кажется, мы почти уже разгадали это дело. Но я так думаю уже давно.
The clients will ditch. We've been running back channel negotiations with all the major clients. I think the company will be up with renewed zeal sparked by communal ownership. The men will be shipping those containers double time. You'll be surprised to see how fast things go without parasites latching on. We'll have our
That's drugs.
Drug trafficking.
Drug trafficking? Don't be stupid, Mr. Kitsuragi. There are perfectly legal. All they do is produce components to keep the pharmaceutical industry running. That's people's health we're talking about. Old grannies, little... The company thinks transporting these chemicals in bulk looks bad. Has bad... We're gonna transport the living daylights out of those materials, Harry. So your sick kid can get his benefit.
And the kids on the street can get speed and...
I'm an old-fashioned guy, Mr. Kitsuragi. I sometimes grab a bit, but if I were to supply ingredients for some sort of rainbow party, I would make sure the Union took a fantastic share. And I'd keep that stuff far away from Martin.
Вот эти важные сюжетные разговоры. В прошлый раз я, один из стримов разговаривала с Джойс, и я реально, наверное, минут 30 потратила чисто на то, чтобы все диалоги почитать, посмотреть. Потом вот я с такой головой, типа, сидела и пыталась запомнить эту инфу и пыталась вспомнить, какие у меня еще были квесты благодаря этому. И там еще вот эти ответвления, назад нужно возвращаться. У меня есть околонаучная теория, почему это может работать. Но я вроде рассказывал. Потоки нейтрино проходят через всю Вселенную насквозь. И насколько я помню, доказано, что такая маленькая частица все же может нести в себе информацию. Соответственно, дата рождения, время и положение планет определяет, какой поток через тебя прошел при рождении. Сейчас про натальные карты будешь рекламировать? Я так понимаю. Типа рассчитаешь что-то такое. Я, кстати, как тусила с ребятами, они там типа... Что-то было. Сейчас. Зачесалась голова. Какие-то манифестаторы, еще какие-то чуваки. Типа, что-то они высчитывали, но вроде это было как будто не натальные карты, а типа... Ну вот я запомнила только манифесторы. Что-то там было. Я помню, какой-то чувак мне говорил, типа... Вот, ты, наверное, редкий какой-то там чувак. Блин, сложно. Редкий вид, а потом такой, ой, я посчитал, ты обычный манифестор, всего лишь какой-то там, ну, типа, 10%. Это не то, я думал, там что-то реже. Я такая, черт побери, как теперь мне жить? Ну, обидно, конечно, но не очень. Так, соответственно, сейчас в моде Human Design. Да-да-да, не, обычно это генераторы. Блин, нет, я точно не была генератором, я запомнила бы такой прикол. Типа, генераторы. Да. Human Design, это что вообще такое? Это явно не про одежду же речь. Human Design. Так, давайте про Руби. Human Design. Это что-то про то, типа, какие цвета идут тебе. Я знаю такой прикол. Типа, ты тип лето, осень, весна, холодное лето, теплая зима. И под это ты себе подбираешь макияж, ты себе подбираешь гардероб. Так.
Oh, Harry, you've misunderstood. I have no drugs in my hands. It's all far. Anyway, let's not focus on the sensationalism of the drug trade. This hypothetical drug trade is all anyone ever seems to be interested in. It would only be a small part of the harbor's turnover.
Продолжайте.
Let's look at the big picture. Martinez as a whole. There are little girls out there with dreams of making music. I'm gonna unite them all into one economic body. We're gonna
Let's keep focusing on the drug trade. He was almost admitting to it.
No, Harry. That's boring.
У меня... Так.
All right, it's gone.
Это и есть Human Design. Это новый метод типирования. Мышка во рту орёт. Давай ее сюда. Даже соционика, но вид сбоку. Слушай, была... Помимо соционики была психософия, но она старье. А вот этот Human Design с генераторами и манифесторами, это тоже было, блин... Мне кажется, лет 6 назад точно. Какая-то не новая фишка. Мне кажется, ты ошибаешься. Это что-то не новое. Вот эти... Я помню, как я гуляла с каким-то чуваком, и он мне говорил, вот эти генераторы, манифестаторы, ща я вам все рассчитаю. Я такая, о, нихера себе, как весело, здорово, спасибо. У меня бывшая на этой теме поехала на соционике или на Human Design. И как это вообще проявлялось, поехавшись? Для меня то, что произошло в 2010-м, это новое. Мое почтение. Сочувствую, но, возможно, чуть понимаю. На дизайне. Это с манифестаторами, да? Вот с этим, с генераторами? А как на этом поехать? Объясни, что за прикол. Так. Блин, плечо болит.
Can we talk about my beautiful incorporated Martinez and its many-sided business ventures now? This bold new vision of incorporated socialism I'm offering?
Да. Что да? Да. Непонятно. Как можно на этом помешаться? Ну вот как? Сидеть и всех типировать? Я помню, в соционической тусовке была, там все сидели и всех типировали. Давайте пока.
Harry, the future I have in store for Martinez will
Мачо-атрибуты.
have all the macho aesthetics you love so much.
Oh yeah, skull and bones. Skull and bones on a Revacholian flag. A Revacholian
Левашольский
death
эскадрон
squad. Oh
смерти.
yeah, the visual image has completely bedazzled you.
We're way past specific union members now. You can bother Leonard with that. He loves to run his mouth on such matters. But I mean, great, Harry, great. I think we have truly... This has been so great. I'm sorry we don't have more fun things to... I'm always happy to educate and entertain you, my friend.
Да вроде всё.
Very nice, Harry. Is that...
Так. Поехать — это ездить. Логично. Ну, поехать — это ездить. Я так не понимаю ассоциации. Это ездить на Москву на курсы, посещать семинары и проводить по итогу всякие эксперименты над собой. По типу недельного голодания. Нифига себе дизайн. Я сам своего рода дизайнер. Но как бы это... Блин, это опасно получается. Вот эти пищевые как расстройства, это вообще больная тема очень у многих. Очень многих девчонок, возможно, и многих парней. Вообще, я понимаю эту тему, у меня у самой было расстройство, но это как-то не с соционикой, конечно, было связано. Да и вроде оно до конца так и не лечится. Ну, блин, ну чтобы, типа, human design привел к голоданию недельному, а это... Блин, мне кажется, это вообще... Блин, я не думала, что такое может быть. Капец, какой-то жесть. Честно сказать, я в шоке. В дизайне такого нет. Туда еще и веды подмешались, и все в кучу. Эзотерики обычно на одном не зацикливаются. Блин, ну я думала, кстати, что зацикливаются как раз на одном. Так, поговорите с мусоркой. Капец. Я много эзотериков знала. Не лично, а через знакомых. А вот эти веды, я знаю только, что надо в юбке ходить, чтобы у тебя энергия из-под юбки куда-то в землю шла. Если ты не в юбке, типа не пролезет. Так что вот кто не знал, ловите лайфхак. Ну и типа такой был прикол, это не мне, это подруги мои говорили. Я не общалась с такими чуваками, ну прям вот так напрямую, типа, мне еще и говорили такое. Хотя я помню, у меня кто-то мне советовал, что типа оденься красиво, накрасься и все пройдет. Как-то так. Я такая, спасибо, вы точно психолог? Юбка тупо делает тебя женственнее, вот и все, за исключением кожаной юбки, это ужасно. Блин, кожаные юбки, да и не знаю, почему ужасно, почему это ужасно. Кстати, а как насчет мужиков в этих тартанах, в шотландских килтах? Они насколько сильно женственные. Да, кстати, какой-нибудь Джейсон Момоа в розовой пижамке все равно до хера мужественный чувак. Он просто такой, типа, как бы он ни оделся, он выглядит все равно как такой варвар. Так это, и что там с юбками-то? С кожаными. Хотя я давно не видела кожаных юбок. Ну, меня, кстати, никогда не раздражало такое. В плане, я не часто, мне кажется, это вижу, может. Сейчас в моде кожаные штаны. Я знаю, у меня тоже есть даже. Ну, типа под кожу такие. Прям кожаные, прям полностью нет. А так, под кожу симпатично. Потому что кожаная юбка скрывает по итогу и талию, и попу. Нафига, выглядишь не очень. Блин, я что-то даже не видела кожаных юбок, походу, давно. Так, вот этого надо найти, чувака. Не знаю, просто вот зависит от стиля, мне кажется. Потому что можно ходить в кожаной юбке и в длинной кофте, и вообще никто не узнает, типа, что у тебя там где скрывается, потому что, в принципе, носишь оверсайз, например. Тут как бы кожаная юбка вообще ничего не решит. А если ты ходишь в коже в этой, в обтягивающей, ну тогда возможно. Фиг знает. Фиг знает. Ну, я такого, кстати, не видела ни на ком. У меня знакомые не носят кожаных юбок, не знаю. Ни парни, ни девушки, никто не был замечен за таким. О, мужики вернулись. Так. Сюда. Нужно обсудить концепцию, сохранить. Вот с этим. Этот мой менеджер. Менеджер-бомж.
Tequila Sunset.
Это я. Tequila Sunset. Во.
No one does it better than me, eh? Listen, I can feel it in my guts. A bright future awaits you. The one and only Tequila Sunset. You're already building great. You hear that, Rosie? And that's only the start. Wait until the strike's over and the workers can finally deliver the product.
Hey, your new personal brand strategist. Still, the strike
Опа,
might take
он не стал
forever.
пить меньше.
Maybe
Бухает,
you should
значит.
just cut your losses while you can.
Давайте-ка не хочешь
Tequila,
меньше пить.
you know it isn't that easy yourself. I promise you, I'm working on it. What would you like?
Here's a man who knows
О,
how to play
кассетные
the
заголовки.
media by starting with the right question.
О,
But we
суперзвезда.
haven't solved the murder yet.
Very nice. You could be your own PR agent, Tequila.
Я собираюсь в следующем году обновить гардероб в стиле old money. Хочется. Так, old money. О, понимаю, понимаю. Это на него была мода, по-моему, в... Я в моде не особо секу, но, наверное, какой-то год. Old money. Ну, в плане не с какого это берется, а в каком году это было модно.
What would you like them?
Here's a man who knows how to
Пытаюсь
play the media.
вспомнить.
But we had...
Very
В 18-м?
You could be your
Да
own
вообще это
PR
симпатично.
agent, Tequila.
Так. Не, давайте
Don't spend a
будем дальше.
single brain cell worrying about it. Anything else?
Так. Вообще сложно одеваться в каком... Хотя... Хотел сказать, что сложно одеваться в одном стиле. Ну, блин, не знаю. На самом деле, хз. Зависит от обстоятельств. Ну, во всяком случае, нужно избавиться от одних вещей, наверное, прям полностью все пересмотреть. К этим стилистам записаться. И очень много вещей купить. Но, возможно, это иллюзия. Возможно, не обязательно прям тратить кучу бабок. Хотя, мне кажется, придется. Блин, на мужчин шмоток тупо нет. Не обижаешь. Погоди, почему меня-то обижаешь? Я вот, например, мужские эти футболки только и беру. Вообще, там самые интересные. Женские, блин, редко бывают интересные футболочки. Ну, в всяком случае, в секонде вот. В магазах еще бывают. Я недавно и женскую нашла симпатичную. Но это не футболка, это какое-то поло было. Такое, типа, с полосочками. Неплохо. Горчичное такое, с белыми полосочками. Так. Нам нужно дождаться 22 часов. Продолжайте поиски на побережье. Надо продолжить. Я не одеваю футболок просто. О, это байт на слово «надеваю». Ну, нифига, ты не носишь футболки. Не, ну это прикольно. Прикольно, когда у тебя есть прям желание какой-нибудь стиль соблюдать. Это прям мое уважение. Это, короче, красиво, это интересно, на это смотреть интересно. Так. Блин, вот походу опять тупик. Нужно либо дождаться ночи. Вот тут типа проверку мы пропустили, не прошли, но это сюжетно, мне кажется. И вот ходи, ищи эту тетку. Ее нет. Мне кажется, мне бы понравилась такая тема, если бы у меня был стилист какой-нибудь. И я этим не очень бы хотела сама заниматься. Невозможно. Да почему невозможно? Почему невозможно? Слушать ветер, пожалуйста. Да.
Flowing from high pressure to low, in through the collapsed roof, flowing down a concrete.
Женщина обнимает стоящее перед тобой разрушенное здание своим дыханием, струящимся сквозь него.
The beach below the boardwalk, its winding tunnels.
She's down there.
Ого.
Okay. Why?
Ветер.
So, how do we get in there?
Finally, my time to shine.
Perhaps you can climb them. We are not climbing anything. I'm 43 years old.
Ему 43.
There has to be a way to use brute force. Climbing sounds unsafe.
Так, нужно физиологию сейчас качнуть. Так. О, лестница. Давайте физиологию, может, что посмотрим. F5.
A rusty ladder leads to the...
Yeah, that doesn't look good at all.
The distances between the remaining rungs are rather wide. In addition, the first rung is going to be tough to reach. It's what, 3 meters above the ground? And you're
давайте скажем 190.
Okay, but still, the roof is collapsing and the wind gets pretty... What if you were to do something? What if you were to reconsider? Astral projection. B.
Teleportation is not a thing.
Существует, давайте...
Okay, let's say teleportation is a thing. Wouldn't you need some kind of...
What are they talking about?
Teleportation, Mikhail. It's generally...
Oh yes, it could...
He is restraining himself from using a parental tone with you right now.
Так. О, ну, 92%, пожалуйста.
All you
Да.
need to do is close your eyes and concentrate. Darkness enfold. Zoot, zap, pow, crinkle.
Oh my god, I can't believe it.
Bam! You find yourself
Whoa.
on the roof, having mastered the art of physical displacement.
I just saw you climb the ladder. You just climbed it.
No, not like a regular. The
Исчезающий
wind
паук.
at the top of the building starts howling loudly.
Never mind. Find a way to let me in when you get inside.
Кайф. Наконец-то мы нашли путь. Очень хорошо. Если надеть это на себя, то почему сам процесс надевает... Почему сам процесс надевается? В конце-то концов. Почему сам процесс называется одеваешься, а не надеваешься? Потому что ты одеваешься, а... Потому что ты надеваешься, а я одеваюсь. Так. Процесс одевания. Наверное, потому что вот это существительное, это глагол. Интересно. Возможно, форма образования существительных и глаголов может отличаться. Первое мое такое невдумчивое вкидывание. Проникните в здание и впустите Кима. Хорошо, так. Процесс облачения в одежду. Выстрелами уничтожила опору. Так. О. Не, погоди, если ты на кого-то что-то надеваешь, то это процесс действительно надевания. Прикол. Прикольная мысль, прикольно. Так, опа, откроем дверь. Хотя бумажку надо посмотреть. В этой игре можно мысли сохранять и обдумывать. Я с этой мыслью также сделала. Кстати, какую-нибудь, я думаю, можно запустить. Прикольную мысль. Так, логика. Ну, давайте вот это. О, коп апокалипсис. Художественное образование. Смотреть не могу на это говно. Так, это 1:30. Что-нибудь прикольненькое, конечно, хочется взять. Дереализацию нам не надо, пожалуйста. Ой, нос зачесался. Не надо. Так, эстетика хардкора. Давайте возьмем, пусть будет это. Окей. 1:50. В принципе, недолго. Открыли мы дверь или нет? Так, нет, видимо. Это подвал. А, там 3 этажа. О. Мешало бы достать фонарик. Достанем, у нас есть. Что-то там копошится под плесенью. Так. Тут проход? Да.
Two rusty metal plates that slide apart form a crude door.
What do you mean, who's there? It's me, Tim. Stop playing around.
Кто
The
там?
doors seem to be on rails, but they've gotten jammed. You grab a side and...
Huh. I hope no one dangerous heard that. After you climbed up to the roof, you mean? There's a maintenance entrance and...
He's quite proud of himself.
Yes, we have an exit, so let's get going. Time to investigate these passages.
Я подумала, что происходит. Почему нам все затушилось? Так, мы что-то выполнили, походу. Опа. Интеризоларный пиджак. Хорош. О. Мы сюда прошли. Скрытый. О, шапка-ушанка. Шапка революционера. +1 к социально-экономическому мазовизму. Забавно. Революционная пропаганда. Портрет Краса Мазова.
Amateurishly depicted, gazes at you with sad eyes. The plaque reads, K. Mazov. There is a year's worth of dust is shaken off. Someone crouches, heels digging into wet sand. Hands sweep across the sand. Grains stick into the frayed skin of the thing.
Some radical or radicals were hiding out here. They left a long time ago.
Может, стоит сюда переехать? Ну, кстати, почему нет?
I won't stand in your way, but only after we're through with this case. Millions of depictions of Mazov have been produced. They're not all connected. Besides, that looked like some student. We have found a lot of those lately. I guess what most people think of as history tends...
Good hiding place for someone who's up to no good.
Half a century? This was probably part of the network of defense posts the I think the purpose of this bunker was to produce propaganda. It would have had radio equipment. You mean like Ruby? No, I think we've stumbled on a piece of history.
Я думала, это домик Руби. Так, вот есть окошко. Ага, хорош. Ну, можем надеть на себя шапку-ушанку. И пиджак с розочкой. Боже мой. Очень по-зимнему. И кулон с черепом очень хорошо смотрится.
Could this have been the killer's hideout? And this this does look like an embrasure. Outside the window, another day. The beach sand.
It's a great place to hide. And Masovianism and murder are certainly not mutually exclusive. Indeed. No one could get a clear view.
The lieutenant's voice betrays a slight
In fact, I think we're done with this bunker.
Надели на себя шапку, и сразу все в голову пришло умное.
And your mind tingles with all manner of socio-economic theory. Kraz Mazov would have worn this, Yushenka. Mazov knew where to cook those thoughts. That's glory to the revolution, comrade. Whether you like it or not.
Хочешь ты того или нет, эта шапка прибавила тебе коммунистичности. Блин, а мне уже вот эта штука постепенно начинает давить на голову. Так, как-то вот так красивее. Ободки давят все время на меня. Проверьте траекторию выстрела с острова. Выстрела с острова. Выстрела с острова. Выстрела с острова. С острова выстрела. Так, одна подошва более стертая, чем другая. Что это за местечко? Вот сюда. Опа. Стоп, назад. Это гул. А, сюда не проходим. Понятно. Реально гул. Машины какие-то работают. Это машины революции, я думаю, работают.
Like a swarm of hornets buzzing under your scalp.
No, what do you mean?
Призрак.
Either way, we ought to be careful. There were footprints back there, and I'm pretty looks like our suspect. If she's once we detain a credible suspect, who knows what the Union and the Wild...
You will upset the balance of power in Martinez. Keep calm. Go over the whole situation in detail.
Пистолет.
We absolutely cannot skip that appointment. Consider that 100% confirmed. I fear you'll need your gun for this. Okay, why not? Whatever goes down.
Not closely enough, you suspect, but still, good idea to visit
Так,
her.
Классье — это женщина наверху, которая была в момент убийства с жертвой.
Well, we are not responsible for what we can't predict.
If you can't predict it, there's nothing you could have done.
I leave that to your judgment. You already know what I think.
He just can't be sure. Maybe it will yield something useful.
Yes. There won't be time for that once things go.
If you must.
I think I see a cavern. Maybe more cellars? I think we've been careful enough. We still...
I wouldn't be so sure. You haven't exactly...
Or maybe not. Either way, once we go deeper.
Понятно, это намек на то, что нам надо пистолет вначале взять. Когда будем готовы, пойдите в зал. Как только вы это сделаете, незаконченные дела с профсоюзом и криптозоологами могут завершиться. Так у нас... можно к этой подойти, к Джойс. И пистолет нам нужно забрать. Да? Да. 22:00. Что нам делать до 22:00? Исследуйте потайные коридоры. Это вроде не про профсоюз. Но, честно говоря, это капец. Вот смотрите, нельзя никуда портануться. Это издевательство. просто издевательство. Медленно-медленно идешь. К слову о медленности. Мой книжный бокс по Хэллоуину. Оба. А, не, наверное, все-таки туда еще нельзя. Ну ладно, сохранилось. Давайте сходим. Короче, я заказывала в конце августа бокс книжный с книжкой на Хэллоуин. И он пришел сейчас. Ну там все нормально сделали. Это случайность почты, в общем. Но забавно. У всех уже Новый год, а у меня будет Хэллоуин. Так. Это пока не зал, да? Здесь же можно ходить. Странно.
Suddenly, your entire body is paralyzed. Aggressive white noise fills your skull. It's like 1,000 radio stations are being blasted.
I know you're feeling pretty uncomfortable right now. Don't move too much or fight it. That'll just make it worse. Can't say it's a pleasure, officer. I was really hoping not.
The voice coming through the world with pain doesn't wish to hurt you. Not according to your ear canals. Wait, no. No, buddy. That's not going to help. You can't shield yourself from this. Don't focus on the pain. Focus on doing your job. Tell her she's unrepentant.
Really now? Check this out.
You're overwhelmed with a new surge of violent static. It feels like a blood vessel exploded in your brain.
No, I'm not going to fucking kill you. If that had been my... I'm using a pale latitude compressor.
The explosion of static you're hit blasted from that pale emitter that Angus mentioned.
Saw my equations? You've been sniffing...
6841. Ой, надеюсь, не надо это запоминать.
Is used to sort of make the pale more manageable. With a lot signals are relayed across a series of repeater stations fixed to buoys. Not a fun job.
So, what we are experiencing is a concentration.
Precisely. This is an industrial strength paraboloid. It's meant at the upper limit is the large prime number generator station. It's used.
She's been holed up in here for a while with no one to talk.
Прикиньте, нам нужно было до 22 где-то провести время. Время здесь проводится за разговорами, за чтением книжек. Но, блин, это типа больше 12 часов. Так что жесть.
The pale? It's the end of the world. I built it myself.
Нифига.
I'm guessing it's patented, but we are...
Oh yeah, way beyond. Yeah, I stuck my head in there before using it on you. It seemed like the ethical
Вообще,
thing
конечно,
to do.
красота.
Can't say that I enjoyed it. The field was weaker, but I can imagine what you're going through. No, once I shut down the compressor, the pain will end. Yeah, let's not talk about that shit.
So she thinks of you as hunters, not the cops. And
If you've got something really important...
Ой, господи.
God damn it. Fine. If you really want to talk, I can dial it down. I've also got a...
The gun she's carrying is a well, it doesn't feel much better. But just keep her talking. There's only 3 meters between you and the machine. Be careful when you make your move. That'll be it for questions. Bide your time.
83%. Инструмент в активном инвентаре. Хорош. Это я лом положила.
I heard you in the passages, and I've been preparing for quite a while. So you found my...
Her tone is bitter. She thinks she's been betrayed.
So nice. That's one knife I didn't want to find in my back. I was, before I caught you in the pale...
That's her admitting the bullet was It was dark in the shack. The waves outside had calmed down. She looked at the loaded gun. Then she cracked them.
No, I didn't do it. I only helped... Who ratted me out, by the way? Was it Titus? No, he wouldn't have broken first. Oh.
Давайте так.
Well, I guess I always... But she couldn't have known I was on the coast. How did you find me?
Titus and his boys, man. He told...
Even now, Kim is a paragon of professionalism. He is...
Well, fuck. Those guys liked me, I know it. If this is what...
A dull despair is...
How the fuck did the rest of you get by?
Ой, открывашка.
Like what? I already...
A strong moral compass. She still wants the opportunity to make a case for herself.
I didn't like him. Hardened mercenaries aren't particularly likable types. You think I was envious of his conquests? Look.
See her confident gaze, her toned arms. Yeah.
Посмотри на ее уверенный взгляд, на сильные руки. Да, вряд ли у нее имеются проблемы с интимной жизнью. Объясните мне логику. Типа она уверена, кого-то руками хватала? И от этого нет проблем с интимной жизнью? И...
Yeah, sure. And I didn't like wild pine...
She didn't hate it, okay?
Plenty of broken people who don't come with that kind of body
Это да.
Besides, I'm listening. Man, I was with the boys the whole night. I hope they at least bothered to impress that upon me.
Блин, надо вспомнить. Вот, по-моему, 15.
Yeah, and I'm sure they also made some funny remarks about it. They all can't do either without some
No one takes a 15-minute leak.
Look, fuck you, man. I might also have stopped by the bar. I considered her a good friend, yeah. Oh, so that's where you were going. That's a very sentimental way of putting it. We both had pasts. We didn't want to catch up with us. And we enjoyed...
The lieutenant watches her, expectant.
Okay, fine. I was into her. Clausy was into me too for a time, I know it. We even fooled around once. And yeah, after that I thought she rejected me with some wishy-washy bullshit about how she was confused because she felt so close to... I knew that wasn't the whole story.
Блин, как они еще выживают? Хорошо, что я столько аптечек накупила. Хотя, наверное, еще пригодится. Еще несколько аптечек. В принципе... Низковато.
Though ill will there, it wasn't a problem for her.
Yeah. One time when we'd both been drinking, I said I was a little worried she'd blow it out of proportion in her head. All the drugs she was doing can make you feel like you're living in a DeLorean tragedy. Yeah, the girl seemed terrified. The merc was beyond caring what happened to his mortal... What the hell, man? Yeah, why not? I've gotten worse. Go ahead.
О боже, бедный Ким.
He thinks. But keep on. This must be done.
And?
Блин, интересно, Ким случайно не откинется, если я так много говорю?
No, they're not practical. Break too often. The gun store. Trigger Happy Jacks.
Подождите, это не мое оружие. А.
What did you think? That I'm going to squeal on my gun supplier? Sure don't.
The breech loader?
No.
This is such a wipeout.
A knocked away 80 front loader.
That merc was probably shot from a distance with a military-grade rifle.
Yeah, evidence. Who doesn't? Oh, you probably mean Claudia's rooftop. Sure, I've hung out there. She's got this great antenna. It's very powerful. I used it to tune into RC...
прием.
The view's pretty bomb too. But you might say the antenna yes, I'm sure. And anyway, as I
Типа
said
не она.
before,
Мгм.
the shot had to have come no. Gifts of flowers and candy aren't really my style. I never did understand why, when someone dies, a hothouse is worth it. So now I'm leaving revolutionary symbols around? Come on. No, I did not.
Так. Цветы не от нее.
So, heart of gold Tommy fucked me.
That really comes as a blow to her.
Okay, great. You got into my lorry on your own. What?
Beneath it, she's relieved Tommy didn't betray her.
Ты преступница.
That's your prerogative. Man, it's to get away from all that murderous shit that I...
She deliberately avoided naming the mob she worked for.
I got lucky being a dispatcher. Never had to do any of the really dirty work myself. This gun has only been...
There. It's going to be easier to reach the machine now.
Not for a moment do I believe that you came here...
Я без оружия пришел как раз.
More questions before doing anything.
Так, больше вопросов, надо действовать. Давайте. Ну просто, куда нам 12 часов было ходить и книжки читать, ждать, что произойдет? Мне кажется, это как-то не сбалансировано в игре совсем.
I saw you roll into town. I wasn't about to stick around for questioning. Yes, you. Everyone says you're his peon, his human cannon.
Through the sudden sharp pain in your head, you hear the lieutenant mumble something to himself. Fucking hell. And why it's especially bad suddenly. Felt like a vein exploded.
Everyone in Jamrock, the cops, the...
If she knows that about you, she must know your real name too.
Harry Dubois.
Oh.
One corrupt motherfucker.
So she knows your name. That doesn't mean you're on the tape. Criminals make up bogeyman stories about cops.
Nah. That I'm not planning to shoot you is the extent of the courtesy. You've been to my lorry. You think the biggest player in Jamrock appreciates...
She's not going to change her mind, that is. Wait, one thing.
Господи, как ты был один.
She said you rolled into town. Was that you singular?
Yeah, you had your death squad with you. What happened to them anyway? Well, it wasn't this scrawny dude. You had two guys and a lady.
Oh.
The guys looked pretty buff. Lady wasn't bad either. One of the guys seemed chipper, a blonde. The other had a That sound about right?
No idea who these people are. Satellite officer Vic there looks out of the
Блин, только бы хватило таблеток.
then puts his coffee down and turns to patrol officer Milo. We could either let's go home, John. Nothing's going to happen today, she responds quietly. John takes his blonde wig off. Call Heidelstein. He can give us a...
I've faced worse. What bunker?
Блин, я боюсь, не хватит.
Don't know anything about it. No one's been around since I set up camp. But I'm sure I'm not the first vagabond to...
Да блин!
Keep calm. Breathe in. After the pain recedes, it's a little clearer.
Блин, вдруг получится. Погодите, вот чуть-чуть осталось. Там пару вопросов.
How should I know? As I keep saying...
Those rings around her eyes.
Police radio?
Who hasn't? You know, I can... He was still warm. With the bluish light coming...
She eyes you.
Блин, может, хватит?
As though gauging your... She's refusing to adopt the demeanor of a cornered animal.
Она лидер.
It's okay. We just want to...
All right, don't kill yourself over it. I was shooting the shit with... She sits down with a drink, trying to steady her nerves. So I grab a seat next to her. Oh yeah, super. But I didn't think too much of it at first. No, I really didn't. She's not that easy to read. She asked me to come upstairs. The merc she'd been going with was lying on the bedroom.
You made it look like he'd been hanged.
What? No. Faking a... Yeah. In cold blood. It really surprised me how quickly she was able to get... She asked me to help her drag him into the shower.
Ого.
So she could wind the
А, ну
shower
она
head around his
спихивает на классе.
Then she dressed him while I went...
Classy knew exactly what she was doing. You can't remain calm under pressure otherwise.
Yeah. I wasn't sure whether to admire... As I keep telling you cops, we didn't...
But even if this is true, weren't you worried, didn't you?
War? The thought crossed my mind. But the mercenaries definitely... Fuck it. I'm not responsible for these people after what they did to me.
97%. 97%. Да. Господи, да там далеко идти, просто капец. И еще так медленно. И она просто стоит такая... Класс, Гарри, иди.
You did it. The compressor lies broken on its side. It's quiet in your head again. It still hurts like hell, but... She looks at the machine.
Oh, fuck it. Problem solving.
Ma'am, put the gun...
Oh, yes it is.
Етить! Да блин! Ёма народ, Руби! Какого черта? Не, ну мы не с 28%, ну что это?
You should know the words to say. You've been here yourself. So why is it not coming to you? Because you've been going around pointing a gun at yourself, trying to answer the same question in vain. No, wait. Finally, it comes to you. A way to connect with her. She flashes you an incredulous grin. Then she exhales sharply, shakes her head, and pulls the trigger.
Черт! Убери.
You watch as her brains trickle out through her neon hair.
Так, что мы только что сделали? О боже.
Get a hold of yourself. He needs your support now.
Our job. It went...
She died. How can he be so cold?
Lieutenant Yefreitor Dubois, control your emotions. We did our job.
There is no coming back from this one. It will
Не,
stay.
мы не будем говорить, что это наша вина. Не надо.
We clean up. It may take days for processing to pick up her body. That tent there.
Ну, типа мы могли сюда с пистолетом прийти и, возможно, ее спасти. Руби больше нету, а все. А все. Ну, возможно, такой исход тоже неплох для нас. Капсюльный револьвер. Капец. Минус Руби. Бочка. О. Хорош. Кухонная утварь. Она готовила кашу с бананами. Может, она веган. А может и нет. Так. Полезли в палатку.
The plain red tent. It was pitched by practiced hands. She was, you see, a rolled up sleeping.
We should put her in the sleeping bag. So the rat.
The lieutenant nods.
Там еще и крыса. Ой.
There she lies, cocooned in the sleeping bag, surrounded by magazines. You should look through them. Assorted soft covers, mostly pulp horror. A motor carriage lies buried in the snow on one.
See anything?
Rager Monthly, Journal of Material Science. More Technological Digest. One of the magazines doesn't have images on the cover. It's not a magazine. It's a leather notebook. You pocket the worn brown leather journal. She watches by.
We should read this immediately.
Хорошо, сейчас изучим. Блин, жесть. Взаимодействовать с дневничком. Дневник Руби. Руби.
A thick journal. The cover is worn like someone used to carry it around.
Давайте осмотрим
It's
обложку.
made of full grain leather. The lower left corner of this was important to her. When it was still hers, the journal falls open. About 2/3 of it's ruled the large cursive of someone who writes quickly. It's a mix of logistical notes.
We could learn a lot from this.
Ну, в день смерти.
Nothing on March 4th. March 5th, though. Well, that's bound to come back. You have no idea what she means.
Мы
These
не
are
узнаем, блин.
Don't hard to tell exactly. It's mostly noted down.
There could be useful information about local operations in those notes. We have a junior sergeant.
Professionalism is his coping mechanism. Esoteric radio technology. The most recent ones probably pertain to the latitude compressor. Short, wry observations of people and places. Probably a way to pass the time on the road. Also, staff issues. Always tough on the leadership. You smell trace. The first entry is from August 2nd of last year. It reads simply, I know my position is precarious. That name isn't small wonder. Would you talk about La Puta Madre in your journal? You do see an M though. La Puta, great. M's peon is coming to town, no doubt to investigate the lynching. But also, I feel it in my gut to finally, then again, isn't that what I've been doing? Things played out just as she had feared, except you didn't shoot her. That's a good, pragmatic approach. Been holed up here for 3 days now. I'm used to being alone and all, but I don't know when I'll be able to leave, or if I'll be ratted out. They will rat me out, of course. I've made it a point to believe in the best in people, the boys, for example. But experience tells me.
Что-то она еще тогда приуныла.
Did M feel truly betrayed by me? I was feeling threatened. He'd have to know if he threatened people.
Ну, Эмма точно не он.
They'd take measures to the entry ends abruptly. The call was a courtesy. He must have held her in high regard to personally tell her he knew about her plan to run drugs for the competition. The most recent entry is from today. Even when I leave here, if I leave here alive, what's my next move? Staging a lynching is a crime, even if I'm not accused of murder on top of that. Forever on.
I don't think she killed the mercenary. It looks like she...
This whole thing was a detour. Don't get emotional.
By the Hardy Boys? By Classier? By us? No, I don't think you are. Ask someone in your precinct.
His trust is well placed. You aren't.
Classier was the one who pointed the finger at Ruby. Perhaps she was trying to steer us away from herself, or... Maybe she had an accomplice. One thing is for certain. We have business back in the whirling in rags. Questions...
Идите, блин. Что там, мы еще обложку не осмотрели, по-моему, в конце.
The thick journal bound in
А,
brown
нет.
leather is
Жесть.
6 crumbling.
Просто, блин, жесть. Винтовка. Так, были шестерка и Лапута Мадра. Нужно позвонить в участок, вернуться в танцы, вернемся в танцы. Ой, это у меня столько очков навыков, давайте вкачивать. А куда? Можно в зависимости от заданий вкачивать, наверное, все. Во-первых, можем ли мы портануться куда-нибудь? Нет. С каких-то только точек это можно сделать, и все. Задание. Электрохимия. Техника, грубая сила. Полицейская волна. Кто мяукает? О, боже! Тофу? Бедная кошечка. Ей что-то не нравится. Ты... Ну, можно. У нас так много этих ячеек. Давайте авторитет качнем. Просто так. Электрохимию можно качнуть. Сумрак качнем. Так. Технику качнем. Самообладание. Так. Хорош. И пойдемте. Карта на стене. Угу. Ну, блин. Я считаю, такой вариант тоже интересно посмотреть. Подождите, а вот тут мы были? Да, да. Возможно, типа, есть вариант пройти без ее смерти, конечно. Пистолет возьмем. Что тут такое? Не знаю. О! А. Показалось. Выход внизу, точняк. Мы же открыли Кимму дверь. Но еще сами туда не выходили. Окей. Так, идемте, получается, к машине. Да господи, как сложно. Идем к машине. Мы туда пришли, да? Говорить с Джойс надо было, помните? Но, возможно, у нас не будет варианта.
You're back. Good. What can I...
She's not even asking you anything. It's so easy to just say.
Oh.
A referral, you mean? I take it this was for someone in the RCM. Don't answer that. Oh my.
The lieutenant does not say anything, but you hear the nylon of his jacket rustle as he looks at you.
That's good to hear, Detective.
Her bartering mind cannot fathom that you...
Frankly, what was done was not pretty at all, but Nido,
This scene...
I advise you to be very selective with what information you choose to share. This may have consequences beyond our line of sight.
Misinformation. This is all because we haven't shared information on the link. Hurry up on that probe. The moment you tell me you're...
She must really want you to look into the truth. She was worried for a moment that she's overplayed her hand by not sharing it.
Yes, that's the talk about town. The Hardy Boys, they're called. How benevolent. Hopefully they'll help.
While we appreciate your assistance, ma'am,
That is only fair. It looks like you may untie this knot. Yeah.
There's something in you that really likes the way she's looking at you just now.
То
Naturally, detective. There are lighter topics to gossip about. Did you now? What sort of borscht is he making? The strike brew. That's a classic. And by turn up the... Why, if I may ask? Why make them...
Yes, detective. What were you hoping to accomplish with this strange thing?
Very curious.
Truly. But that's how he operates. He just does things, man. And then talks about
это
it.
я.
Even if
Иначе
it's
не
not
скажешь. Такой у него метод работы. Он просто делает, а потом рассказывает, что сделал, даже если говорить об этом не стоит. Я просто сварил суп для рабочих. Мне сказали сварить, я сварил. Но я в секрете это не оставил, и я рассказал это всем. Из...
A strange equanimity is over.
What else?
Is what you're about to say when a cold streak runs through your heart. Once said, there is no going back, Harry. Yes. What if something happens to her and you've left one question unasked? Sneaky little question. The lieutenant, I do not.
That's great. For the investigation, I mean. A she? I hope she wasn't a serious suspect then. As...
Not be too rare an occurrence.
Unfortunate. I won't pry further in.
There's turmoil in there.
And you too, Lieutenant. The situation is perilous, but I am sure you're dedicated to...
A barely perceptible nod.
Sounds like he has you running errands, Detective. A well-established dominance ritual. Here? Oh, no.
It's clear the village has already grown dear to her.
No, don't tell me. A giant statue of him, or better yet, his twin brother. Practically the same thing, but makes him seem less like a psychopath. A youth center with Edgar Clare's statue on top of it. Go ahead. Help him. Make it so. I should be. In my youth, I had a brief dalliance here in Martinez.
Ooh.
He's probably dead by now. Even his shack is long gone. Not that it matters. Yes, I was slumming it with some girlfriends of mine. We had boats and not overly so. It's not like this was the only place we visited. Me
Подружки
and my
с
girlfriends from
Озона.
Azon with our shine. We told ourselves we were the worst thing to happen to the...
She's sentimental, all right. You don't know enough about her to find out why exactly.
First, there won't be a youth center. Whatever he's told you, all the residents. It'll be a fishery. I've been speaking with Lillian here. She gave me the idea. Sadly, it's just one of the million things I'll never get round to. I just have to accept that I'll never be the rich can... Yes. I'm sad I'll never have the time, Detective.
She is more defensive.
Full of ghosts and ancient memories.
Давайте расскажем.
Has this a takeover? Taking it.
Green livery, changing into like a cancer of the blood.
Then we're talking about a war. Everett needs to let me into the harbor at once. We need to talk about this. They most certainly are not. Crenell has 1,000 men on their payroll.
I've seen the Union's forces. They are better organized. It will take more than Crenell to wipe them out. Wild Pines will need to send more and better equipped men. I am sure you have the money. The question is, how many...
What do you suggest I do?
Пришло время апокалипсиса, да здравствуют сумерки.
I'm afraid we won't disco our way out of this one.
Maybe so, Detective. But that doesn't mean we are not obliged to try and stop it.
He's right. There will be slow, simmering, hideous civil war. What will I do? Did I ever tell you how they discovered this Isola? During our reality lowdown. It may be the only break we've ever caught as a species. The nations who colonized this
Блин,
Isola
Джойс
called
очень
theirs
разговорчивая.
Mundi, the world. It was all they knew, all they thought would be. That there would be something more was a gamble, akin to another world. The Pale was thought to be impregnable, perpetual. Irene la Navigateur, the Queen of Suren,
La
sent
Navigateur.
8 expeditions, one after the other, into the mass at the edge of the world. It was anything but normal. There was no precedent until after years of trial and error and the development of a strict...
Called Volta Doma.
The 8th expedition returned sane and intact. They told of a new continent of math slowly raining down.
The air is cold and there are rain circles on water all around. Humidity crawls up. So does the lieutenant. The droplets feel warm.
The phenomenon has never again been encountered. For a time, the crew thought they were experiencing, but they could not. They were sane and conscious, as islands began to appear.
You've thought it a million times.
A total shift in human comprehension of reality. On the second day, a great skua was shot down above the
Давайте,
flagship
что за
Elysium.
мысль прикольная.
The bird was preserved and brought back, along with pollen.
Погоди. Натруженный мускул чести. Мне казалось, у меня появилась эта штука. Ничего не появилось. А, эта мысль закончилась.
4 years later, the Queen's Counsellor was proclaimed Her Innocence Dolores Dэй, the elected world spirit. The age of humanism, internationalism, and parliamentary rule followed. We were high. The first living, autonomous organism. Proof of reality. It's the symbol of insulation. In your defense, it is a nasty creature who plucks food from the throats of lesser birds.
There was a sting in your heart at the mention before, when she said it's...
On Caillou, the pebble, the largest of the fertile, uninhabited islands. The nations of Mundi preceded, but these others weren't uninhabited. There was no one but the skua, the Liliat Saya, and the Blood Beach, and the River Esperance. It was the new world. The Mondials used it to amass the greatest revolution. Poverty. And it is.
The gangs will run wild, jacking motor carriages, ferrying amphetamines through Coal City.
I will surrender Terminal B to the Union.
She puts her hand in the rain.
We will see.
It is. It is well within her of...
Ma'am, this may well unravel property law this side of the river. If that occurs, we may never see the end.
What happens will happen. The age of capital has only begun. I will talk to my employers in person. We will amputate and cauterize Martinez. If you handle the situation... Yes, Mr. Clare has a 2-month head start. I can't let it grow any bigger. And I've exhausted all my options from here.
There are no employers. She's a member of the board.
You are the citizens' militia. There are no superiors.
You're wrong, Detective. Next time, you should confer with those superiors before you go setting events in motion.
Despite his words, he's not really sure whether events are already in motion. Whether your actions accelerated or momentarily
Ничего не влияет,
retarded their
походу.
progress. Even the lieutenant cannot really say.
Here I am. I am the face, and I'm here to answer. Rejoice, keep the peace.
How far along is Crenel's investigation?
A confrontation is as your investigation reaches a climax. Protect their targets. Violence may be unavoidable, but soon. I do not know precisely. They have one last thing, Lieutenant Dubois. I've given the matter much thought. I know, because I too am insane. I just hide my illness better. And I'm rich.
Прощай, адская тварь запретных болот. Ладно.
No, detective.
Don't worry, madame.
I'm overexposed, baby. My travels take me
Oops.
through the Pale dozens of times a year.
She would die to return to it. The Pale, the path.
The same strict psychological regimen the 8th Admiral developed when he crossed the Pale and discovered this Isola.
You could use a little of it yourself.
Прощай, адская тварь запретных болот. Не могу даже F5 нажать. Блин, ну тварь запретных болот, ну не надо. Давайте хотя бы так.
Watch out for yourselves. They will strike soon.
The lieutenant watches her boat grow small, with worry in his eyes. He does not. You wonder what Everard. Slowly, the sails turn grey-blue. Hardcore aesthetic.
Так.
Oh yes, drugs. We're talking about drugs. Let's face it, these flirtations with the hardcore aesthetic have all been leading up to one question. Can I do drugs harder now that I'm a hard cop?
Хорош.
And the answer is yes. You can.
Реально полезно. Я аж испугалась, посмотрела, у меня надо мной написано страница персонажа. Да, прогрузили меня, прогрузили конкретно, конечно, блин. Спокойно. Ух. Надо позвонить сейчас.
The sea's gonna calm down soon. I can feel it. The wind is
Что там, чтобы на свидание с алкашом пойти?
The wind is turning southeast.
Внушение. Давайте
What's on your mind,
внушение
officer?
бахнем. Внушение. Ну, тут вот я бы сохранилась. Типа F5. Ща.
The sea's gonna calm down soon. I can feel it. The wind is turning southeast.
Давайте загрузимся.
What's on your mind, officer?
You think
Успех.
she really needs more of that after a man died? What if I told you it is actually possible to go on a date sober? Before recorded history, men and women were able to do simple, very primitive things together sober. Acknowledge.
I have, and I don't really. Just a walk? I don't know, officer. I would not have taken you for an innocent perambulator. Where would this walk take us, officer?
Officer, I thought we had a walk of our own in mind.
Oh no, you come with us. You need to understand that nothing is going to...
Having the lieutenant along is a fail-safe measure against any possible funny business.
Let's call it a walk. I'll join you if the man insists.
I do, yes. Stroll on the beach sounds nice, doesn't it?
She doesn't wait for an answer. You better get ready.
Позвали женщину на свидание вместе с другом. Пойдемте. Ага. На северный мыс полуострова. Ёпрс, это эти карточные штуки. Бабуля, где северный мыс? Куда она пошла, ё-моё, ну блин. Ну, пожалуйста. Где ее, блин, найти, ё-моё? Ну, по логике, я, кажется, поняла, куда. Там в конце башенка вот была, мы туда заходили. Иди, пожалуйста, пропустите нас вон туда. Нет, да почему нельзя пройти? Почему нельзя пройти? Не вокруг, там же прямая дорожка. Почему нельзя просто вот так прямо дойти? Ой, я не видела вообще, что вот так можно. Что это? Пирота. Пирота. Вот там она должна быть. Там где-то. Вон она.
The woman gazes steadily at the waves. A sudden gut.
Aye. So here you are. Know that you're not the first guy to bring a girl to Land's End. This is what the locals call a make-out spot.
Across the rusty water, that's La Delta, the financial district. In the mist-covered distance, towers rise as a rebuke.
Drinking men aren't known for keeping their appointments. Aye, you're the starriest of them all.
Her laughter is throaty and warm. It rhymes.
Here it comes.
So fast as to make it seem like the weather turns at her command.
Me? No, no, no. Knew the weather'd clear up once we got here.
You should say something. Anything. Maybe the tequila sunset thing.
It's a common Revacholian expression. Means drinking yourself to death.
Uh-oh.
And what about you? Keeping the name? Can't wait to hear it.
The sun reflected in the waves and the skyscrapers rising across the bay is...
Isn't it strange for this all-powerful thing?
The sun also falls on the Capeside tenements and war-torn ruins. And the sun does little for the dead. And for people living in desert climates with sparse vegetation and little drinking water.
Oh, that was a bit...
And a bit of conceptual unity too. It being yellow and all.
Now you're just nitpicking. But I can...
There's salt in the air, and the cries of the gulls and the skewers.
Я бы сказала, что красиво, но не прям.
Glint of broken bottles. But still your gaze always returns.
It's bringing us spring, summer. It's entirely on our side. No matter what we do or who we are. For absolutely no reason. It's unlike no other powerful being. Certainly no powerful organization or... No.
Maybe some general remarks before you say something big. Work your way up to the cool.
Ой-ой-ой.
Thank you. I'm half Ubi. My mother was from Ubi Sunt.
The wind ruffles her hair as she looks at the sunlit coast across the...
Bees? These aren't real fish hooks, silly. They're earrings shaped to look like fish hooks.
She's right. They're made mostly of plastic. The wind ruffles her hair as she looks at the sunlit coast.
I always do.
The lieutenant makes a show of glancing at his watch.
Good one.
She thinks it was a riddle. She must not even know of that business. Better that way.
Не
Say
выйдет.
what? Something interesting? Impossible. She turns her head, and the plastic fish hooks relax. This was still good.
Thank you. Out there on the other planet, the wind's gonna pick up soon, and I have to go. Have this. The sun's
Oh.
good, but it doesn't stick things. I've no use. Doubt it. But thank.
This is as far as it goes with her. You'd need to put a year between you and your last drink for anything more.
No. Men around here.
The lieutenant looks at do not bring it into a gunfight, he thinks. Please understand, it's merely ceremony.
Farewell.
Прикольно. Не зря прокачали. Переместите предмет в активный инвентарь, чтобы произвести впечатление на самого себя. Конечно. Опа. Красавчик. Кто красавчик? Я красавчик. С мечом. Какой парень. А? Так, пойдемте. Пойдемте. Так, пожалуйста. Пойдемте звонить кому-то по машине. Что-то там у нас такое было. И в танцы еще опять. Господи, почему здесь не сделали никакой телепорт? Вернее, на самом деле сделали. Но он работает, блин, в определенных местах. Вот здесь работает? Нет. А что, кстати, с заданиями? Нам бы перчатки. Маленькую девочку в рыбацкой деревне на побережье. Где маленькая девочка? Маленькая девочка в рыбацкой деревне на побережье. Давайте. Я вот не видела, кстати, маленькую девочку в рыбацкой деревне на побережье. Между прочим. Так, вот этот чувак.
Tequila Suns.
The legend! He's back!
Какие дела, парняга?
Uncle.
There's
И маленькая девочка. Может, где-нибудь тут? Нет, здесь тупик.
stop. Just you are prepared. Don't the barrels of your Natway A80 pistol shine threateningly in the cold spring light.
Yes, I hear commotion.
Good.
Ничего себе. А чё?
I'm all out of shits to give, loincloth. Welcome to the fucking reckoning.
Put your damn gun down. People are gonna get...
Shut up! You're not gonna...
This is the mercenary at the gates. His chest rises and there's something very wrong with him.
This is a misunderstanding. Nothing irreversible has happened.
The Kipt is merciful, willing to spare us if we just forget about our murdered and humiliated commander.
You are all drunk. Come to your senses. You won't gun down 7...
Easy, Lizzie. Let me handle it.
He is facing overwhelming peaceful. Nest in your abdominal cavity like a little wild man.
Fuck, there's a third one. How did we miss something like that?
The lieutenant is genuinely worried for his life. You should consult him before getting in there.
If this turns into a firefight...
A sound strategy. He's the leader.
The mercenary tribunal. My plan is not to get killed, but we...
He doesn't want to, but he must.
Get lost, comedian. You cops had your chance. Now it's fucking time for some justice.
I think he's calmed down. No, he didn't. He's about to open fire. Oh, yes, he is.
Pig fuck!
Ah, yeah! Welcome to the fucking...
No one is going to kill anyone.
With a wordless gurgle, the leader gives a small
Sure.
nod to the helmeted man. Suddenly, your fingers holding the grip of a gun. Shoot him in the mouth. Shoot him before he shoots. No, wait. It's good you have that gun. It really is. Even if it comes to a fight, it's all peace. Always peace. It has worked thus far. Start with the first idea you have, then move down from that. Please.
Rude. Rude is the killer. Rude.
All of you cunts inside out. Rip you open.
The gunner, the raddest, the killer. What do you think he does?
There, on the rim of Owen Clerven's helmet, you count little stick figures. 19, 20, 21. About 50 little stick figures, all of them black, plus 2 little white ones in...
That's right. Plenty.
T, let's fucking do it.
Easy. Easy now.
Yeah? Who did that?
Блин.
Time. You had time. Tough.
Time is up, loincloth. Give me a name. Now!
Блин. Ну не я.
How fucking convenient. You think I'm fucking stupid, cop? How about the kid? Tell me. It's a magic fucking snot.
Listen, please. This...
He's gonna do it. He's gonna shoot her. The Hardy Boys confessed to hanging him, all together. Titus said we took him out back and hanged him. He said it loud, in a public...
You're lying!
You heard wrong. She and these men have been helping us find the shooter.
Fucking liars!
The shot rings in your ears, a low, tinny ring. Then the Hardy Boys yell something. The young woman stands and looks behind her. The shot
I missed.
I know what I heard, Corty. They said they killed him.
That doesn't sound good. What topic? Shots have been fired. Act before it's too late. This was a close call. Dangerous. Ask about him first. You don't want personal facts about his dead friend coming out of your mouth.
Sergeant Major Raoul Cortiner, reporting in to burn this fucking mud hut.
As he moves, the interlocking pieces of his armor click, 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 click. The realization comes to you, like a picture. No, probably foster brother.
For killing, maiming, and humiliating our commanding officer. We're all sentenced to death by lead.
He sways from left to right.
He wasn't my fucking brother. We just grew up on the same...
Beaten by a foster parent or someone on the phone.
Same fucking mud hut town, too.
Okay, good.
Ooh, Laylee.
We researched him. We contacted the ICP and looked at his birth.
They fucking put Laylee in a leaf compactor.
There's real anguish in his...
It's a mind fuck, Corty. He wasn't put in a leaf compactor.
Как будто это мать этой...
To fuck with us.
Уна.
Major permission to.
Open fire. We can't have that. Interfere now.
Our colonel did what he had to do. It was either one.
And your ship pipes right enough!
He likes to fire mortars at random coordinates. Wipe out mud huts.
He was a good commander.
Oh yeah. He would have commanded this fuckhell way, but fucking murdered him. Had him stink the village.
Listen, man.
Told us what? What did you say? Who said that? Tattoo fuck. You'll... Fuck do you mean?
We've heard testimony. People say...
Yeah. He liked to chat up the natives. Share leaflet. If Laylee was here, he would spare the lot of you. Maybe shoot one for...
Ready to open fire, Major.
Baby blue, yeah. Like someone... It was creepy, but bitches like that shit, I guess. Or, I don't know what bitches...
He sways from left.
He wasn't my...
Beaten by a foster...
You don't know shit.
You lost him. Quick.
Идти зачем?
Find his killer. Cop. His ki... I know what this tactic is, Silo Sam. You're gonna die.
Big talk, but that leaf compactor won't leave his mind anytime soon. It's a small thing, but it got him off center.
Who the fuck is that?
Glacia, the woman upstairs. Where is she?
She left! She left! Her room's cleaned up.
We should have arrested her.
You can feel how upset he is with himself. Just for a second.
Hey, Bushman! Your little cunt isn't gonna help you out of...
She's gone. Forget about it now. Concentrate on this.
Yes.
Yeah? So what? You should be drunk too. Or, like, drunker. You don't want to die sober, do you?
All right. Let's do this.
That didn't work at all. He's more focused.
You think I care what that company cunt thinks?
The man stares at you with bloodshot eyes. A bull.
She's fucking gone. Stay cool. Don't. The company bitch is gone. Laylee's cunt is gone. Laylee's gone.
Guys,
Hold your ground. Any more of you run, I'll shoot you myself.
They're afraid. All no, the rest will stay. They would hold their ground, even if it means dying here with you. International something. International law. Don't say it. But now you stood there scratching your ass for 1.5 seconds. You think this helps things? A small explosion expels the bullet from the chamber. With a puff of smoke, it hits the man like dice. The kinetic energy of the 9mm front.
Go ahead. Give it another try. Do it, primitive. Kill him.
To your right, the killer raises his rifle and takes aim at you. His moves are steady, but the long barrel of the rifle sways slowly. From the corner of your eye, he's trying to find a straight line of sight before the rifleman can. You stare down the barrel of the gun. You see 0.4 seconds remain. There are 6 little black dots in the tip. Is there anything we could use to protect? He's drunk. Drunk fighters overcorrect. Move right. A full suit of armor can't be too agile. You can shift direct. Just dodge the first shot, and the second will be easier. Drunks are quick to anger and make mistakes.
Пожалуйста.
You leap left. A swarm of angry lead passes near
Господи.
side, tearing fabric off your coat. Feels like the lightest of tucks. The man tilts his head. Watch out. To your left.
God, please.
He's aiming for the eye slot in 2 shots ring at once. One from the lieutenant's pistol, and the other from DePaul's. It's aimed at the Glenn, dying in a puddle of blood behind you. His mangled torso has... Oh God, watch out. You see 2 cold eyes looking at you through all the smoke and panic, and a pistol raised, aiming at your chest, point blank. Then the man, a look of happiness. His eyes seem unnatural. Here it comes. Death. You can't. There is no time. Something inside your pelvis explodes. Your entire... The pain is too immense to scream. It pushes the air out of your lungs. Everything goes dark. A distant blur as you... Nothing. A persisting darkness. Dancing lights of pain. Distant shadows cast by...
You're bleeding out. Stay with me. Yes, keep talking. You hear me? Stay.
But you can't. It's so hard. Your eyelids grow heavy, a shadow towering. Someone stands there, raising his pistol at him. The lieutenant does not see it. He's pushing down on your wound with both hands. No, you say, and hand out your firearm to him. That's all it takes. There is no room for hesitation. You hear a roar of pain, a death scream. The sound disappears like someone pressed.
This is death. One more door, baby. One more door.
The fight? There is no fight. the fight. He's not taking it. His body is not taking it. And rotting. And being disinfected.
He can't go. Not there is a radio in the distance. A radio of the world.
Hours turn to days. Soon we will. It was him. He is the infernal engine. He never stops.
You see the lieutenant's familiar shape in the orange jacket. It turns double. Then
Sunrise, Parabellum.
Господи!
Yes, the joke wasn't.
the close proximity of death must have made the lieutenant contemplate his life choices. He's done with the jacket.
Sunrise, Parabellum. Sunrise, prepare for war. It's an all. The gates of the harbor are boarded up. The streets are a little more empty. Apocalyptic. I think we may have held it off, for now. Barely. Yes, we have also completely failed. But that's okay. Mr. Gart cleaned it. It took him an entire day. 2 days, in and out. You've been up enough to take Drouamine and Kurt. It's not ouch time yet. You just got the Drouamine pill an hour ago. Wait until... What happened? You shot the Major, and successfully. As retaliation, their rifleman tried shooting you. He missed, or you died. Then I shot and wounded him, while Glenn took a bullet in the spine. It was meant for me. Glenn did...
This is not the first person to...
Titus, Fat Angus, and Theo charged. Angus and Theo died before they made it to intensive care. Titus died in the hospital. Yesterday. Alain and the young musician, I forget his name. Yes. You were bleeding out. I think you said no one wants to party with you.
Thank you.
I was not able to kill him, as I should have. Crenel took him. A stray bullet killed the Pole, though. And that's what happened. This is the one. Yes. He's in a private hospital across the river. Crenel claimed him from the local butcher shop.
There is unveiled and...
We won't get to him anymore. The good news is he's not coming here either. 4. Glenn, Theo, Angus. The fat one. He... all. Yes, officer. 7
plus 1. Ruby.
But what's done is done.
Все умерли.
The Hornets did not get into the beehive. The worst scenario, and we are still alive. Both of us.
He did not expect you both to survive once you stepped. His smoking, his hunched back. You have it worse, but he took it.
Reasonably bad. You were shot in the left quadriceps. That's your thigh. The outer side, thankfully, no major arteries were nicked. We will see.
If it's possible, then by pure willpower alone, you are going to have to become a psycho-locomotor.
Not very. I have a concussion from the Major, but things would be worse if you didn't warn me. Thank you. I did not see him coming. Good. You'll need to be... whatever that... No.
A man and a woman sit in the front seat of an armored motor carriage. The woman is driving. The man... Back to that shithole, he says.
I called your station after the fight. The injury was logged in. They told me they've sent officers to join you on the site. I'm sure there were...
No, they would be here if they were truly worried.
I don't know. I did. No need.
Офигеть. Неужели это мы так все просрали? Или такая игра драматичная?
Your balance is way off.
How are you?
He nods.
I honestly don't know. Do you? Because we can't talk to Evrard. The harbor's in lockdown. Everyone in there is outside our grasp now. I don't know what to think. It might not have been a bad idea. Maybe it's her. Maybe she kept her hand. Either way, Ruby's gone. And Classio too. We really should have arrested her, you know? I don't know. I think the theory you presented, it's someone else, outside our circle of suspects. Honestly, I think our investigation has not produced a single credible suspect. We could find thousands more if we wanted.
But they seemed so mysterious.
No need to be melodramatic. Don't be narcissistic. Half the cops in Revachol West are his peonies.
That does make some sense.
What? Every piece of garbage in the city is not connected to...
He's wrong.
Okay. We should go upstairs, rethink the ballistics in situ.
See? There's that. You can do...
It's extremely easy. There are thousands lying around. We found one. All complete...
He arches his brow. The ceiling fan patiently spins overhead.
Давайте супер просто.
Really?
That concussion must be making him dizzy.
No. Are you ready to limp? Good.
The lieutenant did mention also, it's just close enough to endure the walk.
Why not? Another look at the window, perhaps? The one he was shot through. I don't know.
Идти, конечно. Капец. Ой, окно осмотреть в спальне.
Next to the stack of bills, you see a note. A few lines. I'm sorry, I fucked everyone over. P.S.
A gift. I am not drawing my gun yet, but I don't like gifts.
He says he's not, but his hand... Just don't walk into another radio. Relax. Not everyone is out to trap you.
It's hardly surprising.
Да, неудивительно. А здесь что-нибудь есть?
The medicine cabinet is pity.
Mm-hmm. She certainly had her priorities straight when she was back. Of course you were. How does that work anyway? Amphetamine.
There is a little condescension in him. Be honest, he's not grilling you. He just wants to know. Ask if he's ever wanted to take it too.
That's what I thought.
Конечно, капец. О-о, что это за нить?
You see the same two neon-lit shapes.
This is ballistics. She's left a trajectory for us.
A ray of backward motion explodes from his mouth to the roof outside. It suggests the bullet came from the extreme upper quadrant of the island in the bay.
She was there that night. She would have known
She had a long time to think about it.
It also looks like there may be more to her skill set than we know. The question is, should we trust her? I find that hard to believe. But at this point, what difference? Unless she thinks the perpetrator was standing on the ring antenna. That is where the threat seems to point. I remember. So it is.
For a second he seems tired. He is trying to justify it there, across the grey water, amidst crumbling concrete, a birch tree, and the half-sunken ruins of a flak tower.
Ну как же подарок? А, это и есть подарок.
Could be the makings of a sniper's net.
Why not? Military fortifications are made.
I understand. Okay, let's go to the fucking island. How do we get there? Joyce Messier had a sloop, but she's gone. Ah, yes, of course. The village. Let's go.
Опять телепорта
The
нет.
same small.
Всем все сказали, всех это всюду отпустили. Мы реально странный коп. О! Вот почему здесь работает телепорт. Бабуля.
Our tenant, the police, even I can. Though I suppose you took the worst of it. Turns out you were your own ill omen. I'm not sure those were the loss of the men.
Then we'll be ready.
Так.
Officer, what happened?
She sounds almost disappointed with you, reprimanding you for falling and hurting your knee.
Look at you, you can barely walk. Doesn't look like nothing. What happened to you anyway?
There was an exchange of fire on Rue de Saint-Guylaine. It's nothing to be worried about.
Я остальных не видела, они все мертвы.
So you're a killer? That's good, I guess. I guess. Better than being dead.
Мужественно
She
фыркнем.
just looks at you, her T-length.
Of course. Can I help? That won't be a problem. It's wind still and the tar just dried. We've got 2 days of relative sunshine ahead. Used to be some kind of fortification there before the war. For the
Hasn't been there herself. Who has then?
My husband used to drink there. Him and his drinking buddies. The kids sometimes go there too. I know they do, on rafts. I tell them. The twins. God forbid they bring the girl along on some rickety barge.
Can we maybe ask your twins about that place before we go?
Be my guest. They've a strange way of talking. See if you can get anything useful out of them. I seldom do. Well, most of it's sunken. Underwater.
Aye, aye, Captain.
I'm sad to hear that.
That's cool. You boasting your bacterial infection like.
If you promise to bring it back, and no scraping the hull. I just got.
Of course, ma'am. It's only for.
Aye. See, that makes me not want to lend you my skiff. On a boat, rocking leads to capsize. Please be conservative with the fuel, will you? Just filled her up, but it's.
Пойдемте с детьми поговорим.
The scruffy-haired little.
On that island, that's nothing. It's just a seaford, and we make a fire. Gather the sticks for.
Bullet shells. There are a lot of them left over from the war, but
I don't know what these are. They're alive.
they must mean a human being on that island, but it's cut off.
Our father didn't say that. He didn't.
A dull pain flashes through your mind.
sorry. No. Yes.
Let's go with yes.
Because he asks to put the fire out. I don't know. Yes.
Because he doesn't want to be found. Smoke traces.
I don't know.
Did you mean there are
Yes. No, he doesn't live. No, he lives there. Been there twice. He doesn't live there.
anything else?
I don't know. We ran. He just yelled. We shouldn't be there. There's
Lights, fire guy. We should check up on that island.
Так. Блин, девочку мы не нашли с какими-то этими, с доспехами. Блин, его разберешь, блин. Я еще думаю, что я все прохожу, все проверяю. Ага. Конечно, блин.
A skiff with a small steering engine in the back.
Слушайте, могло быть и хуже, на самом деле.
Of the sea. Its two seats are
Вот
empty.
какие-то ответы я же все-таки открыла. Значит, нас, наверное, вообще могли бы прибить там.
Once you get in, that's it. One pull of the starter handle. Have you made all the necessary preparations? Remember what the net picker said. It's a small tank. You won't be going back and forth on this.
What? Fine, why not?
Very cool. Now tune it to sound.
Грусть ФМ. ФМ. О, хорош.
Want to be free. Want to be free. It will last forever.
атмосферно.
The boat comes to a slow stop. The lieutenant turns the engine off.
Наверное, потому что мы грусть FM выбрали.
There's silence.
Пока мы плыли, я, кстати, оценила, подумала, у меня теперь есть ответ на последнее предложение в чате. Почему ты процесс называется одеваешься, а не надеваешься? Потому что суффикс «ся» говорит типа про себя. Вот. Поэтому это так и работает.
In the silence, a sputter of wings. Let's go.
Выбраться из лодки. Если убрать этот суффикс, который к себе относится, то все будет нормально. Ух.
The chain trails off into the ocean, connecting the island to the supply depot on the coast.
Ah, yes, so it seems. For bringing munitions to the island, maybe? And supply?
As a defensive measure, lock it off that side of the bay.
From enemies. Enemies of the commune of Revachol. This sea fort was a...
Так, ну что, полезли вверх или осмотрим внизу? Ну, полезли наверх. А музыка заиграла. Прикольно. Как будто другая игра началась.
The dry grass crackles under your feet as you stop. Far away, birds with the flock of quail departs. Now more than 100 meters away, on the islet, there is almost no wind, just like a silent orchestra tuning at the beginning of great importance to the few who attend. A silent hiss, sea air moving through the needles of a pine tree. The faraway roar of the city, distant like today's dream. Before it, the sound of sand, the low tide filtered through its grains, a bird tending to its feathers, a low hum. The air slowly moves through a concrete box. Air flows out of a pillbox window. There is very little there. The Col de Mamadakwa.
Oh, да.
Yes? I have. Is that why we're stopping?
The lieutenant nods.
Тут жил.
There's a greasy old spring mattress in the corner, resting on...
Someone has been squatting here. The linen is fresh, recently washed.
You force the rest of the sentence out through...
You know, officer, you can rest here if you are feeling tired. I will keep watch. You could use some rest for what's ahead.
Часов.
You face the concrete wall. There's less light there, in the dark corner. Like the blanket feels cold. The entire room does. You feel yourself standing up in the darkness, right next to the mattress. Slowly, the world begins to sleep.
Тут что, все это время жил я? А где Ким? Как выйти-то отсюда, ё-моё, где выход? Тут опять этот Маркс и Энгельс. Какой цепи? Блин, только бы с Кимом все окей было.
Dolores Dэй. The innocence of humanism. Internationalism. Okay. Don't
Ой,
say you
красиво.
need to talk right away. Melt the ice first. But you don't even want to talk to her. She would only be... Let her go. This is the holy queen of the territories of Mwindi and Insulinda. Think of the historic knowledge we could glean. This...
Hey. I mean, hey to you too. I'm doing really good, actually.
Какая она
Both
красивая.
professionally and
Какое у нее
romantically.
платьице.
I've come
волосы.
into a fulfilling and peaceful period in my life. Well, how are you doing, Harry? Well, I'm in my head too. We're all in our heads. Sometimes. Not as often as I used to. So much time has passed.
This is everything I always warned you about.
I'm sorry. I was heading to the aerodrome. I just don't...
She means she doesn't have time to tend to your emotions. She sighs. What are you doing? Stop saying things like...
I'm going to Morova. To live there, in Grad. It's 1 million kilometers away, Harry. Just my scepter, my globe cruciger, a spare silk gown, a toothbrush, travel... Oh, this. This is just a wreath. The crown of immortality is made of rarefied light.
She looks at the suitcase, not silence. Her nuptial gown
Свадебное
flows in
платье.
the wind.
Anyway. No, Harry. It's just regular skin. I'm not as beautiful as you always thought I was. Let's not get into...
She does not answer. Silence. A distant wind blows. You can't think of...
No, Harry. No. I don't want a massive, epic show. We don't have anything to talk about anymore. Every combination of words has
Господи,
been
с ним
played
расстается
out.
богиня.
The atoms don't form us anymore. It's all gone.
Неродившаяся
I have to
дочь.
go to
Господи,
the
что
aerodrome.
происходит?
I have to leave Revachol and you.
Oh God, whatever you do, don't try to kiss her yet. Not after that. You're still reeling. You'll fall over if you try now.
I don't want it. It looks expensive. I don't want it. That's not what figurines do, Harry.
She looks at the headless found rider between your fingers and doesn't know what to say.
Harry, I don't want things. I want to go to the... I didn't ask for things.
Я
It's too
предложила
late
ей
to give me
фигурку.
anything. I would have liked the headless fallen rider back then. It's not, but... I don't know why I said, but that's it, yes. We've talked about it and...
Where in hell? Stop. You're only making it worse for him. You never help with anything.
See? It just takes some time. For you, I think it'll take something like 20 years, maybe. But I can.
It's not. It's just not possible. It's like eating rocks. You just can't do it.
Yes. It only took me 1 year, maybe 2. Yes. But that time is gone
Мы
now.
расстаемся с богиней
So
в
very
иллюзорном мире.
There is a silence. As you talk, it feels like chewing on gravel, granite, steel bars.
No, Harry. We already tried again.
Is that how it is now? We should just try it, not you two.
I don't know. Please. Harry, we can't be together.
She avoids turning them to you. They're turning moist now. Her eyes. She slowly shakes her head and tries to get hold of herself, brushing her hands in her gown.
You know what I mean. What do you mean, stopped saying things? It's not about some tie, Harry. You've worked there for so long you can't even talk like a normal person anymore. It's always lists with you. See? Let's talk about something else. It's not just the lists. You get sad, Harry. Too sad. Other people get sad too, but not like you. In conclusion, you're ill. You're an old, insane man. And you have to be in hell until the end of your life. And I have to go to Morova. I am actually very ordinary, Harry. Below this gown and wreath, I have an ordinary soul and ordinary thoughts. The only thing inhuman about me is this.
Типа, кого-то вознес на пьедестал божественный.
This thing you've made me into.
О, Господи.
I'm sorry for saying so, but I just hate it. What if my lungs do not glow, Harry? I am just like all the others. None of us have glowing lungs. Stop making me into some kind of...
No answer. The arches of her brow. You won't do any of that. A warm gust wraps her gown. All the roads will miss a completely different world.
It'll pass. Everything does. I have to, Harry. Really, I've already missed the...
I was wrong. You don't have power over her anymore. You shouldn't have said that. I am wrong about everything. You should go on without me.
That was someone else. I betrayed her, overwrote her, and I'm happier for it. And I'm really going now. Yes, I won't see you, but... Oh, Harry. This is a dream. Can't you see? I'm already in right here, tomorrow night. Once this dream starts happening, I'm suffocatingly beautiful and young. And I smell of tutti frutti chewing gum, like I did that time when I asked you for forgiveness. After leaving you the first time, so long ago. Oh yes, this is real darkness. It's not death. See you tomorrow.
You're up quick. How was your sleep? Okay.
He's still worried. You must have really...
Блин, дичь. Не пойму, интересно, сколько мне до конца? Блин, мне кажется, надо до следующего стрима оставить. Сейчас я посмотрю, сколько осталось. Так. Давайте в следующий раз допройдем, мне кажется. Просто поздновато. И мне завтра вставать рано. О, блин. Офигеть, это какая-то безумная серия была. Но я супер прониклась атмосферой, которая здесь была, с музыкой, с вот этим сном, с Долорес Дэй. Блин, прям трогает. Прям что-то такое мощное. Но, конечно, диалоги меня опять загрузили. Я опять сижу вот такой головой. Классно, интересно, мощно. В следующей серии стопудово будет финал. Стопудово, обещаю. Приходите на следующий стрим обязательно. Я предупрежду, когда он будет. Классно, что были сегодня со мной. Подписывайтесь. Это видео будет на ютубчике. Вот, обязательно. Как и следующее. Но следующий стрим, я думаю, он будет вообще небольшой. Вот. Короче, всем спасибо и пока.